Have you ever dreamed of winning the lottery? The question seems almost rhetorical, doesn't it? After all, who among us hasn't fantasized about those 6 magical numbers aligning in our favor? Those numbers that could instantly transform our lives from ordinary to extraordinary. It's a common dream, shared by millions, if not billions, around the globe. The allure of immediate, immense wealth is undeniably seductive. Imagine the possibilities. A sprawling mansion, perhaps, with a fleet of luxury cars parked in the driveway. Exotic vacations to destinations most people only see in glossy travel magazines. The freedom to quit your job, to live life on your terms, and to never worry about bills or debts again. Yes, winning the lottery is often seen as the ultimate ticket to a life of ease and luxury. It's a dream that's been romanticized in countless movies, books, and TV shows. We've all heard tales of overnight millionaires, their lives seemingly elevated to the realm of fairy tales. But here's a question worth pondering. Is winning the lottery really all it's cracked up to be? Sure, the initial euphoria would be overwhelming. The champagne would flow freely, and the world would suddenly seem like a playground filled with endless possibilities. But once the confetti settles and the reality of this newfound wealth sinks in, would the dream remain as sweet? Consider this for a moment. If the dream of winning the lottery was truly as wonderful as it seems, why do we hear stories of lottery winners who end up miserable, bankrupt, or even worse? Could it be that the proverbial pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is, in fact, a mirage? Let's delve a little deeper into this tantalizing dream of lottery riches. Let's examine the unforeseen pitfalls and unexpected consequences that can come with such a windfall. After all, it's often said that money is a double-edged sword. But what if this dream turned into your worst nightmare? Imagine waking up one day and you're a millionaire. Sounds perfect, right? But let's flip the coin and take a look at the less glamorous side of this seemingly perfect scenario. Have you ever heard of the lottery curse? It's a term coined to describe the eerie pattern of misfortunes that seem to plague a surprising number of lottery winners. Picture this. You've just won a life-changing amount of money. Your initial euphoria is swiftly replaced by a gnawing sense of unease as you realize you've become a prime target. Everyone from long-lost relatives to complete strangers come knocking, each with a sob story or a business proposal. The pressure to help, invest, or donate can be overwhelming, and before you know it, your fortune has dwindled to nothing. Then there's the issue of addiction. With sudden wealth comes the freedom to indulge in whatever you please, and for some, this means unhealthy habits or substances. It's not uncommon for lottery winners to fall into patterns of excessive spending, gambling, or substance misuse, often leading to personal and financial ruin. But arguably, the most tragic consequence of winning the lottery is the personal loss. Relationships can be strained or even shattered under the weight of newfound wealth. Friends and family members may become jealous or resentful, leading to bitter disputes and isolation. In some cases, winners have even been victims of crime, or worse, due to their sudden fortune. It's a grim picture, isn't it? You've gone from dreaming of the good life to living a nightmare. All the things you thought you'd enjoy, the freedom, the luxury, the security, they all seem to have slipped through your fingers. And the worst part? You're left feeling lonelier and more lost than ever before. Suddenly, winning the lottery doesn't seem so dreamy, does it? We've painted a bleak picture, but remember, it's not all doom and gloom. There are winners who've managed to navigate these choppy waters successfully. But the dark side of winning is a reality that can't be ignored. Let us dive into some real-life anecdotes of lottery winners who ended up unhappy or in trouble. Our first tale is about Jack Whitaker. Jack was a successful businessman from West Virginia who hit the jackpot in December 2002. He won a staggering $314 million, the largest single-ticket lottery win in history at the time. But instead of a happily ever after, Jack's story took a tragic turn. His newfound wealth led him down a path of addiction. He blew millions on high-stakes gambling, faced multiple lawsuits, and even had his car broken into, losing $500,000 in cash that he had foolishly left in the vehicle. But the most heart-wrenching part of Jack's story is the personal loss. His beloved granddaughter and daughter both died under circumstances linked to the lottery win. Jack's fairy tale win turned into a nightmare, proving that money can't shield us from life's tragedies. Next, let's talk about Billy Bob Harrell Jr. This Texan was working at Home Depot and struggling to make ends meet when his life drastically changed. In June 1997, he won the Texas lottery jackpot of $31 million. Initially, it seemed like all his troubles were over. He quit his job, bought homes for himself and his family members, and generously donated to his church. But soon, the pressure of his new life became unbearable. He was constantly hounded by people asking for money and fell prey to a company that offered him a lump sum in exchange for his annual lottery payments, leaving him with less than he'd won. His personal life also took a hit. His marriage fell apart, and he struggled with loneliness and depression. In less than 2 years after his win, Billy Bob took his own life. His story is a chilling reminder that sudden wealth can bring about unforeseen complications and personal turmoil. These stories are not isolated incidents. Countless lottery winners have found that their dream come true was more of a curse than a blessing. From bankruptcy to broken relationships, to becoming a target for scams, the consequences of winning the lottery can be devastating. One moment, you're on top of the world, and the next, you're spiraling into an abyss of problems you never saw coming. Remember the old saying that money can't buy happiness? It's especially true when it comes to lottery wins. The sudden influx of wealth can turn your life upside down and bring about challenges you're not equipped to handle. But don't just take our word for it. These real-life lottery horror stories are stark examples of this harsh reality. These stories show the harsh reality that money can't buy happiness. But why does this happen? Why does winning the lottery often lead to unhappiness? Let's delve into the psychological impact of sudden wealth. When someone wins the lottery, they are thrust into a new world of wealth overnight. This sudden change can be disorienting, leading to a sense of isolation. Friends and family may treat them differently, and they might feel disconnected from their previous life. This disconnection can cause deep loneliness and a loss of identity. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that your life as you knew it has forever changed. The places you frequented, the people you hung out with, the small things that made you happy all seem distant and out of reach. You are, in essence, a stranger in your own life. Then there's the pressure of managing a large amount of money. Most lottery winners are not equipped with the knowledge to handle such a windfall. This can lead to anxiety and stress. They may live in constant fear of losing their fortune, or they may make poor decisions that lead to financial ruin. Furthermore, the expectation that wealth should bring happiness can lead to disillusionment when it doesn't. The sudden realization that money can't buy happiness can be a cruel awakening. So while the idea of winning the lottery may seem appealing, the reality can be quite different. It's clear that winning the lottery can have severe mental health implications. So, is winning the lottery the worst thing that can happen to you? Let's recap what we've learned today. We all dream of hitting that jackpot, of the luxury and freedom that comes with unimaginable wealth. But as we've seen, that dream can quickly become a nightmare. The sudden influx of wealth can be overwhelming, leading to poor financial decisions, extravagant spending, and in many cases, bankruptcy. We've shared stories of lottery winners whose lives took a dark turn after their windfalls. From family disputes to personal tragedies, these tales serve as a stark reminder that money really can't buy happiness. Then there's the psychological impact. Winning the lottery can isolate you from your community, strain relationships, and even lead to depression. The pressure of managing such huge sums of money, coupled with the fear of losing it all, can take a significant toll on your mental health. In essence, winning the lottery isn't the dream scenario it's painted to be. Instead, it can lead to personal and financial ruin, turning your life upside down. So here's our final verdict. Winning the lottery might not be the blessing it appears. The wealth might be tempting, but the potential pitfalls are numerous and daunting. Next time you buy a lottery ticket, think twice. Maybe not winning is the real win.